You can now support me on Patreon. No matter what Aronofsky touches, it is a polarizing experience. Mother is no exception. And here's my best advice. Go in as clean as you can. I'm going to talk broadly about it before the credits, but if you have any interest in this movie, please stop now and I'll be here when you get back. Mother follows the suitably named mother, played by Jennifer Lawrence, as she works on restoring the house of her lover, him, played by the amazing Javier Bardem. I guess the best way to sum this up is IMDb's misleading but apt description. A couple's relationship is tested when uninvited guests arrive at their home, disrupting their tranquil existence. I was blown away by this, though I noticed a key problem with the film from the trailers beforehand. They showed everything from Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water to Suburbicon to Thor and Black Panther. For the uninitiated, you can usually tell what type of movie you're in for by what plays before it. If it's a horror film, you'll see the newest Saw film, plus whatever riffraff they're vomiting into theaters. Drama? The latest in Oscar bait. Romance. Wait, who is the latest heartthrob? It can't be Julia Roberts. Matthew McConaughey? Wilson? Fuck it, you get my point. If the theater doesn't know what to put in front of a film, that doesn't bode well. At least on that point, you're either in for a real shit show or an amazing experience. And from everything I've picked up, Mother is equally divisive. A love it or hate it affair. I, for one, absolutely loved it. Throughout Mother, you're following Jennifer Lawrence both visually and orally, confined to an up-close camera that sticks to Lawrence's performance, catching every flicker of her eyes and disappointed side glance. Every betrayal, every slight barb and bitter comment is keenly felt. With each overwhelming scene, we are sucked into her powerlessness as things spiral further and further out of her control, even more as Javier Bardem abandons her to be the ever-accommodating host. As someone who has gone through a tumultuous marriage, every blow lands with expert precision. For us creative types, this piece is all too aware of how creative endeavors can affect our loved ones. Add to that the very real romance and falling out of Aronofsky and Rachel Weisz, as well as the new relationship between Lawrence and Aronofsky, fuels a lot of the baser interpretations of this film. So for what I've said so far, I've been talking around the actual conceit of this film. As I've said, go see this if you can. Go in as clean as possible, though now I might have actually, infected a little bit of what's going on, but this is something to behold. Now, for those who have seen the film and want some more, I'll get to you after the credits. As always, you can read about me, myself, and mine at justindherd.net. I'm also on Twitter at justindherd. You can also listen to our unfiltered thoughts by picking up the Dubious Consumers podcast. Make sure you check out my Patreon at patreon.com/JustinDHerd. We've recently revamped our page in an effort to be more streamlined. For as little as $1 a video, you can get into our Discord chat, get access to polls to decide future videos, and get your name in each video. There are multiple tiers, but when you hit $5, you get your name called out at the end of each video, like Mr. Jeff Straight. Add to that, it's the only way to request videos and influence future content. While you're setting fire to the hive this week, be sure to send out the smoke signals of like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell to get notifications on all our past and future content. It's a huge help to this channel, and it's the only way we grow. Now to put my opinion on the film succinctly. Holy fuck. I was absolutely entranced by this insane film. During the second apocalypse, all I could think of was, I love this film. Over and over. Once I realized he was a god, I immediately started reevaluating everything I'd seen before. For those familiar with my work, you'll know that I have an obsession with gods, so that reveal made me examine my ideas on story structure and what I could do with my gods in an intimate storyline like this. But as I said, I was enamored with this film long before the reveal. It was also a revelation to see Stephen McHattie here as the priest stepping up as chaos ensues. That and a wasted Donald Gleason appearance round out this near-perfect cast. My one complaint is that the Cain and Abel segment felt rushed and melodramatic. Granted, time and space are accelerated here, and that sequence gave only the faintest inkling of how topsy-turvy things would get. In the scene, the characters show up essentially in the middle of an argument, so there's nothing to care about here, but it's obvious where they fall in the end. However, the thing I love is how seamless the chaos is in later acts, how it melds together and intensifies as Mother travels through the house, each turned corner another horror for her to discover. During the first half of the film, it's easy enough to see that what grows around him are the trappings of a cult, and, depending on your viewpoint, its actual basis may be nothing more than that. But it was revelatory once you're seated deep in the allegory of Judaism and Christianity. Not everything has a clear parallel in the story, but as the movie wraps up, they make their intentions clear. Overt might be a better way to put it. As I said, I love that once the reveal happened, it made me reassess the film, but also how I approach stories, making me consider the difference between telling intimate stories with dire consequences for a small group as opposed to expansive stories where the world ends. And if you haven't got it by now, I loved this movie. And that'll do it. This has been Dubious Consumption, and I'm outro.